are you interested in getting a brooder box? Well, today I'm going to share with you what I think is one of the best brooder boxes you can buy for the money. You do not need it. You can build your own. But if you have $300 and you plan on using things year after year after year after year after year, this is basically what happened. Was we did 2 years of this and I was like, let's get an actual brooder box. That's what this is. I don't know the name exactly. Here are screenshots on the screen of it. I have links below to Amazon if you are interested, but we're gonna get into the review right now. Pros, cons, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. Up front, yes, I do recommend them, but I'm gonna get into the why. Please excuse the mess. This is kind of the last stop before we go outside. This is kind of our nursery area where we're raising, plants and whatnot. All right, so here's the brooder box. And there are just tons of things that I love about this. So the first thing is it's modular, it's stackable. But before we get into that, it's on wheels. They have locking, rolling casters, and you can easily move this anywhere. And that doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but it really is. The amount of times during our hatching season that we just unhooked it and pushed it out of the way to sweep and clean out, it was huge. It was a big, massive help. Another one, the whole thing is modular. So you're gonna see these, which means I can buy if I really want to get into it. Let's say I start doing broilers and I want to get into actually hatching them. Then what I will do is, or making meat birds, then I will actually buy a second section up top. This section, the whole one section here, I think each section is about $300. It's $330 for what you're looking at here, at least the time that I bought it. And that comes with the water thing. You'll see the water thing ties in here, and then there's an extra hose that then just kind of goes down to nothing. Well, why does that happen? It's so it can be modular, right? So if you have multiple stacked ones, this would basically connect together. You have one large one here. I believe this is a 2-gallon water tank, which is fantastic. On the bigger ones, there ends up being a 5-gallon tank. All right, so another thing, you've got an infrared heater here and a light temperature controls, which I really like. The whole thing comes in a box. It's knocked flat. I think I lost the footage or didn't film. I was so excited to put it together. You've got a feeding tray on the outside. And so what happens is there's little gates here. You lift the gates. When the chicks are bigger, they can stick their head out and they can eat this. Of course, there's grains here and this sits on top for the feed. All right. Now you come inside. Sorry, I'm using this storage right now. There's a light bulb. That is just a standard light bulb, nothing fancy. But the big bar there, the bar is actually infrared heat. So it's gonna be similar to this style of a brooder. It's a safer heat, temperature controlled. The heat lamps tend to melt things. Of course, it's an upside down variant. The heat lamps tend to melt things. So this is not a heat lamp, this is a normal light bulb. You can see the water system coming in here, and it really works pretty well. You can adjust the height. You can also see about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch grates. So as they poop, the poop just falls through the grate and gets caught right here, which is fantastic. Earlier you saw me talking about these mats, and what happens is you can lay these mats in there. There's 3 mats. They cover everything temporarily, and you can pull that dump tray and dump poop, which is very, very handy. When it ships, mine came with 3 of these. These are what the baby chicks, day 1 of hatching, what they eat from until they're about teenagers. Basically, once they can't escape through the hole, at that point, we transition them over. Another thing it comes with is 2 of these guys here and 2 little chicken waterers. And these actually last quite a long time. But this is super, super handy. When we're done for the season, we hosed everything out. It's just really, really good. One thing I don't like, this thing tends to wobble around and stuff. So I just grabbed an old tray and I set it up there. And then now that actually works. The other thing too that I don't really like is it's 2 gallons or whatever it is, but it's not very much water. Now it is nice and stacked. It comes with an automatic drinker. And so one thing I was considering was just buying or grabbing a 5-gallon bucket, drilling a hole in it, and then boom, I'll set a 5-gallon bucket on top, and I won't have this. I think this is here specifically to interact with other things that they sell. This is a chicken breeder variant, which I really, really like. They have game bird ones for quail and smaller birds, and I think they have larger ones for poultry. And guys, yeah, I really, really enjoy this brooder. This setup right here is a game changer. If you're a year 1 just getting into chickens, I would not do this. If you're year 2 and 3 and you're like, listen, I'm gonna be doing this every year, I know I'm gonna do this, or if you're like, I'm gonna get into broilers and I want a real setup, then this is a huge option. Remember, this thing is a game changer. Their poop goes through. You're not changing straw or hay or mulch. It's keeping the chicks clean, healthy. They always have fresh water, always have access to food, always have the warmth. You're not fighting with the system. And normally these styles, larger, they're made of metal, there's all kinds of stuff, and normally they're like $1,000. I think you can get the 3-stack for like $800. Are they the most durable? No. The plastic is a little weird. Sometimes we're going to be zip tying some of these together just so they kind of stay together. One thing you'll notice here, let me demonstrate here, is you often want to naturally grab for this while you're lifting it up, but it'll come apart immediately. That's something I could probably just super glue or put a screw in or something. So there's pros and cons to it. I'm going to say, if you are semi-serious and you think I'm going to get into chickens, I'm going to continuously, at least once a year, hatch out a whole bunch and raise them through. This is a sanitary way. It's a healthy way. It is really, really respectful of the chickens. It's easy, so much easier to take care of them than, oh, I'm busy, I'm running late, but it's such a chore to go. I got to change all this stuff. So then the chickens are always in the poop. They're in the sawdust. They're in the wood shavings, and the poop is in the water. None of that is here. This keeps them clean, fresh, all the time. Just the amount of ease it gives you is totally worth it at a pretty decent price. Now, if you're going to go full-blown commercial and you're going to say my livelihood is chickens, no, I would go get $1,000 one, right? For something like this, where it's made of metal and it's going to stand up to the abuse of 10, 15, 20 generations per year that you're putting through this. For 1 or 2 generations per year, right? Or 4 or 5, I think this is going to be perfect for most homesteaders, for most small backyard chicken operations. This thing is super, super awesome. So that's my 2 cents. Could be wrong. Let me know down in the comments if you have tips or tricks or ideas. If you guys are interested in money or finance or business, a lot of us homesteaders out there are trying to make money from there. I have another channel, Small Biz Rescue. Go check them out. And also, if you're interested in learning about money for the blue collar person, the everyday person, then go check that out. It is the FU Money Podcast, where it teaches you just about the basics, the things that the rich know that I wish that I would have been taught. So we talk about that. We interview a lot of really cool folks. Guys, we will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the Chicken Brooder review. Links in the description if you want it. We'll see you next time. Woo!